Nothing like talking about embargoed stuff right before we hit the button. What is going on, AJ? What's happening? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Brian. Nothing much, man. I spent all weekend literally my entire weekend was beating Redacted and
also Redacted.
And I still haven't even played Redacted yet. Can you believe that?
Yo, like redacted is like so redacted. You are so redacted. Whoa.
Hey, did you know that onions can catch fire in a microwave, apparently? Okay, somebody has to Okay, I witnessed this with my own eyes in my microwave. I was warming up a hot dog. I had this place that had hot dogs and deep fried Oreos, Brian. Oh my God, what is this?
Big fan.
Sin. I am a sinner of the food arts right now. But I microwaved my hot dog back up and I literally saw an onion. I don't know if it was an onion or ketchup or something caught on fire in the microwave. Did you know that could happen?
I did not. However, I want everyone to point to this conversation when it's 9:00 and we're still going strong. And AJ's like, I got a lot to do tonight. I was like, I have a lot to do tonight too. He's like, so let's make this a fast one. I said, let's make this a fast one. And then he proceeds to tell a 2-minute story about a hot dog. Did you know onions can catch on fire? What, you ready to start the show, AJ? You ready to start the show?
Let's do this, man. Just warning the people out there. Stay safe.
Let's go. This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Eyes Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern, even if we're really busy and have other things we need to get done for your viewing pleasure. Thankfully, we also care a lot about your oral pleasure. That's why our good friend RodPop puts us up on podcast services of your choice. And every Monday and Friday, Road to the GameCat Army General puts timestamps into the show so you can skip around at your heart's content. And then on every Wednesday, Wally does it because he's amazing. My name is Brian Paul from Nishan right here without Parole Nishiman over here to my left, your right. It's AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
What is up, Brian? What is up, Game Cats? Happy Monday. And I know that Mondays usually suck. But that's okay, Brian, because we are here after 2 weeks. I know. I'm so sorry that your last 2 Mondays had to suck. But don't worry, because we are here to ensure your Monday sucks. Just a little bit less. A lot less. I lied. A lot less.
Yeah, what have you been up to, man? Been every time you the last
told you.
starting microwave fires.
Starting microwave fires. I literally
that'll look good on the resume.
I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah.
Doing this is one of the most fun things ever. But it's also a lot of work. And the only downside to this is that I don't have much free time.
Yeah.
And if I had one complaint about video games, is that they make time fly by way too fast. So, I had a really hard week at work last week. And I want to come home, rest, just do nothing but sleep and just just sit in the bed and do nothing. But instead I was like, no, I got to get this done. We got, dude, 2024 is not over yet, guys. 2024 is far from over. And so I spent all weekend playing the thing and playing Redacted, and eventually I'll get to Redacted. And it made the whole weekend go by. And so now I'm still exhausted. But that's okay because I have a special gift for you guys. And who wants a North American code for Hellsweeper? Because bing! Oh, wait, there we go. Is that backwards? Or is that...
No, it's okay. Not.
North American code for Hellsweeper. Good luck, everybody. Right here. I'll leave it up for a little bit. Hellsweeper rocks. if you don't win this code, you should go out and buy it and support the developers. But yeah, man. And if you get this, let us know in the chat so that we know that you got it.
This sounds like it's some kind of promotional thing. Oh, no, enough. Like, these people can rewind if they want to. we can't see your beautiful face. Like, is this some kind of promotional thing for Hellsweeper Alliance, the new 3-player co-op update that just came out?
No, this was the developers saying, hey, we just really appreciate you always being so supportive and giving us another chance and always believing in us. And we'd like to give you some keys to give away to your audience because they are also awesome. And I agree. And
if they were so awesome, why did they buy the game already? Why is that key even necessary?
It's probably not. Of all the people that own Hellsweeper, the highest chances are going to be in this chat here. But yeah, they did. In fact, I'm glad you mentioned that, Brian, because they did, in fact, have the Alliance update and added 3-player co-op, a brand new boss, a new katana, I think. And yeah, I jumped into this game for the first time in a long time. And I played it for the very first time with the haptics vest.
Ooh.
You know, that thing that, is like $500 and $550 and you still haven't even opened it yet. Dude,
yeah, it's still sealed.
You are missing out, man. You are missing out.
Hey, that accessory video isn't gonna not happen. It's gonna happen.
I'm still
when
just
it
waiting.
happens,
I'm still waiting. I'm sorry. When it happens, what? I'm sorry.
When it happens, I'll have to try it out and test it for the accessory video. Listen, it's the same reason I haven't installed a globular cluster on my on one of my 2 PSVR2 headsets yet, because I want to document that for the accessory video. I want to document the installation process. The accessory video. Here's my plan, AJ. First week in January. That's the plan for the accessory video. First week in January.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
So we'll see you in June when there's no releases.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, January is looking kind of crazy, but we're going to get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
The whole release calendar for next year, I kind of looked through to see for this episode what was going on, and it is nutso. It is nutso. January is just crazy. Fifth with the Australian $5 tip says, I'm going to buy SubSide because of the demo. We need more demos, devs. That was a tongue twister, but I got it. I nailed it. Yo, I guess we can talk about the demo of SubSide. We can't talk about the game of SubSide, but we can talk about the demo of SubSide.
Yeah.
Like, bro, SubSide is beautiful.
Like, it is.
You know how we were like looking at the trailers and being like, wow, this looks beautiful? As it turns out, it's like almost, I think it's way more beautiful than I expected it to be. Yeah.
This game, it's not only like beautiful, it also has great image clarity. That's a big thing that sometimes hinders some of the visuals of some of these awesome looking games. And so I think there's a good point that demos are important. I think any form of marketing or exposure, anything is important. It doesn't always mean that it's going to lead to success. In some cases, it can actually hurt your game. But I think in the case of SubSide, releasing a demo was a very, very good idea. And I think they're going to benefit from it. And I think we're already starting to see the benefits from it.
Yeah, dude, this is the kind of thing, like, I think when, we first started talking about PSVR2, when somebody announced that there was actually going to be a PSVR2 headset, I think it's games like SubSide that I was sort of envisioning. And then, things with, I don't know what your impression of the demo was in terms of like just pure clarity, but like Zero Mura, obviously it's running at 90 native. And so there's no reprojection. Like, it's just, like you said, pure clarity. And I think, and I understand that the scope of this game or experience or whatever you want to call it is different than a full-fledged game, but this is a game basically made by one dude. Like this needs to set some kind of standard. And so when other developers set out to make a much bigger game, I think they need to start setting their sights higher. And I know that's a problem because so many developers want to put their game out on Quest, and not just Quest 3, but Quest 2, which is a major problem, right? And so you run into all these difficulties. But this just shows when you're optimizing for high-end PCs and you're optimizing for PlayStation 5 and PSVR2, what is capable. These are not, I'm not going to say anything else. I was going to get into like actual SubSide review territory, which is not allowed. But I think you can tell from the introduction area in the demo what you're in store for. It's beautiful.
It is, and I think it's going to be the kayak VR killer.
You think so?
Yeah, without question. I've played this on PC. Keep that in mind. And the PSVR2 demo looks very similar to the PC version. Very, very similar. The Pro, which I don't have, which you do, probably looks exactly like the PC version, like on a high-end card. Probably looks exactly the same. But even with my 4060 Ti currently, although I must say, I got something today, Brian. The Beast has arrived. I actually got my PC in today, my dream PC, and it is this box of this thing takes up like half my living room doorway. I'm not even joking. It's ridiculous. Obviously, it's probably going to be a little bit, box within a box, but it's a big boy. It's a big boy. Can't wait to unleash the beast. But I got a little bit, like I said, yeah, we're both really busy. We got some things that we need to work on tonight and tomorrow first. But I cannot wait. Hopefully later this week we'll get to unleash the beast and get going with it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
well, SubSide
looks great.
Like I said, the developer Kenna B over there on Twitter was saying that the PSVR2 version is their favorite. It is the sharpest. It is that's such a cool thing to hear, and when you've got infinite resources basically on PC, and then you're programming for very specific specs on the PlayStation 5 and say, that's my favorite one. That's what I like to hear. That's awesome. So this is what SubSide is the 20th. It is Friday this week. And so you'll be seeing some reviews and impressions this week when embargoes lift. And of course, Alien Rogue Incursion is another one we've been working away on. And so stay tuned. Lots and lots of good stuff happening this week. What a fucking great week for VR. And then Masters of Light is coming out this week. I've actually got my hands on that and haven't even started it because that's how fucking busy we are with everything that's going on.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I haven't touched that or two other games.
Stike, the Signosis Game Cat with the €5 says, Uncle! I forced him to buy Behemoth because of my 11-minute review.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I told him to say Uncle. Guess what? He said Uncle. Grandpa's Barbecue or Game Cat with the level 1 membership says the accessory video. Yeah, probably 2026. Hey, listen. You all know me well enough by now that sounds accurate. That could very well be the case.
I do want to pick up a globular cluster at some point, though. If I don't get one for Christmas, then I'm buying one right after.
Yeah, I think the globular cluster people sent me one, and
I could probably email them. I just haven't, and I'm like, it's so much time has passed. I'm like, oh, screw it, I'll just buy it. Like, I don't know.
All right, man. For our first news story, I think we should head over to Reddit, where lead developer Blake Stone from Vitruvius VR posted 1 month to go. Arken Age is approved by Sony and ready this week. Review keys are going out this week.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I gotta tell you, cats out there, review keys are indeed out. Also, I have review keys. So this is good stuff. Where is the post?
Thank God it comes out in a month because it's so freaking busy right now.
Oh, here it is. Here's the actual post I was looking for. Great. Yeah, I know. This is actually perfect. Listen, it's very, very seldom that developers give you this much lead time for a game. It's usually coming in hot and fast, and obviously, Behemoth was the worst of it. That was 2 days before launch, and that was even worse because they're like, "Oh, the game you're playing isn't even the game that." It's like, what the fuck are we even doing here then? And
Yeah,
then,
it's messy.
but most games are usually like 5 or 6 days, maybe 7 if you're lucky. I remember the best one I think we ever had was like
Synapse.
I want to say maybe Synapse, but I remember Iron Man being 10 full days or 2 full weeks or something like that, being like, oh, these guys know what's up. And so tons of respect for when developers, aren't coming in, like coming in hot and having to worry about like all these patches and shit. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, the game's fucking done.
Yeah.
The game's fucking done. Like, who knows how it'll turn out to be? It might not be a great game. I'm guessing it probably will be because I love Vitruvius, and so far they haven't let us down. Merville's was awesome. Um, I saw that face. And I just have a feeling that they're like, hey, we know that we're releasing a finished product when they pass QA and send review keys out, and there's still a month left till release. That's all very good signs.
Yeah.
But what they're saying here over on Reddit, AJ, is, hey guys, I just wanted to share a little status update on Arken Age. We just got fully approved by Sony and are on track for our January 16th release date. Both our 90 native and 120 reprojected modes got approved, and you can choose your preference when you launch the game.
90.
Yeah. In addition, our Pro support is also approved, and there's a 15% increase in resolution when running at 90 native and 25% increase when running at 120 reprojected. We're using dynamic foveated rendering, and it's very noticeable when you're up close to enemies, showing off the great detail and the effort we put into the design. From beta testing, most players finish in around, ready for this, AJ? 18 to 22 hours.
Oh
But
my God.
just to be safe, I would say the game takes 15 hours to complete, depending on your playstyle. AJ, 15 to 22 hours. That's what the beta testers are saying. This is not a developer saying, oh yeah, it'll probably take 20 hours to finish the game. In fact, he's scaling it back. The beta testers are saying one thing, and he's like, well, let's just say 15 hours to be safe, which is so refreshing. He said we
Yeah.
also have translated all game UI, text, and subtitles into 15 different languages to make sure
Wow.
the game's playable for everyone. Arken Age has realistic physics, combat with both close range melee weapons and long range guns. Includes a weapon upgrade system with over 30 mods and has tons of custom VR machinery, custom VR interactions like swimming and climbing, eye tracked weapons and deployables, and has a story told through both the Nara alien race and environmentally through the world design itself. I think Arken Age is going to be something you guys really love, and can't wait to get it out to you this January 16th.
You know what this means, right?
What?
We are all going to be exhausted when we get done playing this game.
Yeah.
No, it sounds amazing, man. 15. I mean, that's selling himself a little short there, too. 15, 20 hours. That's a big boy. I like it, man. I like it. We need more big games on the platform. I love these, linear, cinematic, story-driven games we've gotten lately. But to have something that's even bigger here, that's pretty nice. Really, really excited, man. Really, really excited, and definitely starting the year off pretty damn strong.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I know I see people all the time being like, I'm sick of horror games, I'm sick of zombie games, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of that. This is your game. You want something new, you want something different, you want something unique. Dude, this is a 2-person team. I can't say it enough. This is a 2-person team. Yeah, they outsourced a lot of shit. It has to get done. But you know what? Like I'm very, very, very excited to be able to talk about this in January. That's all I'll say.
Yep, me too. I'll get to it pretty soon. I'll give it a little. I'll probably start playing it maybe like a week or two ahead of time, so I'm not like completely like bored of it by the time the reviews or by the time embargo lifts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm probably gonna start playing it like Saturday, because I need to get ahead of it. Because again, January is gonna be crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that I've played it and whatever. And even if it's just like kind of old news by the time the reviews come out and everything like that, that's fine. We very seldom are gifted early access like this, and I'm very excited to take advantage of it.
I'm just gonna make sure I take lots of notes so that a month after, a month later, I'm not like, how did I feel about this?
Right. Super Nintendo Chalmers with the $5 tip says, does the lack of DualSense support seem more intentional this generation? It feels like a missed opportunity to merge classic gaming with VR. I think we have dedicated PSVR2 controllers. I think that's what's happening. We have dedicated PSVR2 controllers designed for VR, and because of that, and they have analog sticks on them. The Moves controllers did not have analog sticks, and so that's why I think so many developers last gen were prone to either doing the aim controller or doing DualShock 4 controls, because that's the traditional gaming that gave you the analog sticks, that gave you a way to move around, right? And so we're saying why is there less DualSense support this generation?
It's because we bitched about it for like 8 years, and they finally gave us what we wanted, and yeah, no, this is by far. Well, I see where you're coming from, and I do love having even just VR games where you can sit and play with the controller, because I'm tired. Like, I'm tired sometimes, especially after like a long day of work or just, something that makes you physically exhausted. It's nice to have something to play, to sit down. It's harder to play VR games for longer periods of time and after hard days of hard work, because you're just so exhausted, and a lot of them require you to stand up or do a lot of physical movement, and they are important games, though, no doubt. But no, this is a huge step forward. We already went through an entire generation of having to use the controller, and this is much better. Trust me.
Here's what's going to happen, AJ. We were so far over here last gen, and we've swung all the way over here this gen, and I think the pendulum's going to swing back to the middle at some point. But it's going to happen with hybrid games, right? Because don't forget that if you're making a game where you look at something and hit X, or you're making a game where you look out, you have to reach out and pick up that item with your hand and grab it, you're making like 2 games at once, right? When you're incorporating one set of actions and another set of actions, you're making 2 games at once. When hybrid games become the norm, that is when you're going to start seeing, hey, do you want to just sit back on your couch and use the DualSense controller, or do you want to use the orbs? That's when it's going to happen, is when more and more games become hybrid games. But like smaller studios can't afford to make 2 games at once, right? Can you imagine?
They can hardly afford to make just their regular VR game,
right? I think it's going to be like, hey, you can play this on your flat screen. You can play it flat screen mode using this DualSense in VR, or you can go full immersion at some point. But like, VR is still too small, and these studios aren't making enough money to be able to justify those costs. Darth Vader, the Game Cat with a $2 tip, says, did you think you could get rid of me that easy? Nuh-uh. Oh, I'll get rid of you. You just wait and see.
Oh.
He's gonna turn up dead tomorrow. Now I'm gonna be the prime suspect. Well,
no
shit.
Blade and Sorcery reference. No,
I
was expecting a Blade and Sorcery.
I think
comment.
that's what he was going for. Dead Ringer, the Game Cat, with a $2 tip, says, thanks for making my Monday suck just a little bit less.
My pleasure, Dead Ringer. Shout out to the juniors.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I hope they're still playing Fortnite. AJ, we need to talk about Green Hell for a minute here. The Green Hell, that's the big news of the day. Like, the thing that this entire show would have been about if we actually had time to play it more, would have been that the Green Hell VR multiplayer update is out. It is 4-player multiplayer. You can play the campaign in multiplayer. You can play the survival mode in multiplayer. It's there. It's out. I jumped in with Cerebral Frost, with Sasslord, and JP, Jim Perona. And so we got a little 4-player game going on. And let me tell you, AJ, first of all, it's awesome to see other people running around the world of Green Hell. It's cool to like be able to share this experience with other people. It's cool to be like, oh, we've got to build a tent or a fire and have people contribute to that. And so we're all just running around grabbing resources. But first and foremost, I forgot how to play Green Hell. It had been so long since I played. I was like, I have no idea how to do anything. Like, I couldn't remember how to make an axe. I forgot you had to like hold L2 and R2. I forgot that you couldn't use a sharpened stone with a stick. You had to just use a regular stone with a stick, which makes no sense. Why would what? That doesn't make any sense. And so, but man, I'll tell you, the second I got in there and the second thing started clicking again and we started figuring things out and we were chopping down trees, it was like, suddenly it was like the excitement kind of kicked in and I was like super into it all over again. I will say this game needs some work, as far from a technical aspect. It needs work. We were not in there very long before things started stuttering, before the frame rate started taking a dive. It's just not optimized to any degree where I'm like, yeah, I totally recommend this to everybody. I don't. I think it's really cool, but it did not take long for it to be like, for some people it's going to be unplayable, right? That stuttering is going to drive people crazy. However, the concept is great, and I hope they keep cleaning this thing up and optimizing it, because it is such a fun game, and I would love to play through the whole thing with a group of people. It'd be great.
So it's cool, but it's not ready yet.
Yeah, I mean, and actually it kind of makes me feel like the game itself like needs to be I need to go back and check out because we were saying the Spirits of the Amazonia DLC had major frame rate problems, and now I'm curious about the campaign itself, like the regular campaign. So
is this mode a separate mode, or is it part of the survival, playing a story? What is it?
So as I began this segment saying,
damn it, sorry.
It's okay. I'm sure you were hanging out with the chat. It was, you can do the campaign, which is what we did, because I was curious how they were going to handle the story. And it seems like they just kind of skipped the cutscene stuff, and they don't really make you do all the, the tedious beginning stuff. So this is actually the campaign where we're running around and trying to figure out what to do. Okay. And yeah, campaign or survival, any difficulty level. So it's the whole thing, just with other people, which is pretty cool.
It looks fun.
Beater Power 666 says, "Did you play on the Pro, Brian?" No, I did not. I reserved the Pro, like even with Alien Rogue Incursion, which I'm obviously working on that review, and SubSide working on that review. I reserved the Pro for a test. I played the whole game. For whatever I'm doing these days, I play the whole game with the OG, the standard PlayStation 5, because that's what most people have, and I think that's the only fair way to do it. And then, hopefully, in these new reviews and new videos I'm making, I will have a section, regarding the pros. How much does the Pro improve things? How noticeable were the improvements? But yeah, it's going to be a very small part of what I do. So that's that, AJ.
Very cool.
Congrats to Incuvo for getting the multiplayer out. This has been something everybody's been requesting for a very, very, very long time. But obviously it just needs a little more optimization. Kill Artist 1, the Dreamweaver Gamecat with the $5 tip says, "Hey guys, right before the show, I sent you guys on Discord, Ask Brian, a great video of Alien Rogue Incursions with devs playing the game." Cool. Well, I hope it's a good video. That's not the PlayStation Underground video that came out this morning, is it? Maybe it is. I don't know. I'll have to see. But it's good. The more we can learn about Alien Rogue Incursion before it comes out, the better.
PlayStation
Always good.
Underground. What a bunch of copycats.
Violator the Gamecat Metal Messiah with the $5 tip says, "Does the big cat hunt you in multiplayer?" I think everything that happens in single player happens in multiplayer. Sirens on my end. We didn't run into any big cats. We didn't venture out too far. We spent a lot of time in the first areas. We were exploring a little bit, but again, just kind of like relearning the mechanics. Like we were building a tent, we were building a fire, and it's funny how like it just took a while to remember how to do that kind of stuff, and it made me wonder. I think I just like Song in the Smoke better. Like, as much fun as this was as a game, Song in the Smoke, I think, is just my preferred game. So, all right. AJ.
It's a better game. Game.
What, Song in the Smoke, just overall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I like the crafting better in it. Like they're both very different, and they both have great things going on. And I love them both. But Song in the Smoke, I just think is my jam. Killer Swiss says it was. And first I thought it was AJ posting it. Okay, so it's a PlayStation Underground video. Nice.
Okay, I may have stole that from them, but I stole it from them from
What
like
do you mean,
1995. They stole it from me. They didn't post anything.
Steal anything from you.
They didn't do shit with PlayStation Underground for like 15, 20 years, maybe even 25 years. And then, I start getting a little bit of success and they're like, oh, we can't have that. We got to have PlayStation Underground.
So what you're saying is you stole it, but only because they weren't using it anymore.
I was inspired by it. Okay. And no, they weren't using it. They brought that shit back. I've got witnesses. I've got GameCat witnesses that will testify that shit was not around when I started my channel.
Yeah, GameCat witnesses are nothing against Sony lawyers.
You'd be surprised. I'm sure we got a couple lawyers in here. I know we have. Never mind.
AJ, let's talk about 2025. 2025 is quickly approaching. Can you believe, AJ? Exo cars get delayed out of this month into next month, which means it got delayed into 2025. Can you believe how close we are? We are 2 weeks away from 2025. It still sounds like a long time from now, doesn't it? You're like, no.
No, I've already realized like it is very close.
Okay.
It is very, very close.
Fine. Be that way. All right. Cool. Well, then we're gonna take you guys through the release calendar, and we're going to do a little bit of rating, a little bit of hype scale. What are we doing, AJ? Are we rating? You and I are both going to rate each game on a scale from 1 to 10. Are we rating our hype for it, or how good of a game we think it's going to be? You tell me right now.
Let's go hype.
All right.
Because I don't want to. I'm not in a being mean and bashing these things today.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you say you have zero hype for something, that doesn't sound great either. So,
I mean, I'm probably still going to do that anyways. It's inevitable, but I'm just being honest. It doesn't mean, nobody's going to like your game. Fuck.
You're it's just, I don't like your game. That's amazing.
No, there's lots of stuff to be excited about. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
All right. First game on the list, January 16th, 2025, is Arken Age from Vitruvius VR. We just talked about it, 1 month away. AJ, what are you excited for about this?
Well, wait, are we doing a hype rating or no? Does this include a hype rating?
Yeah.
Like a number? Is it a number? 1 through 10? What is it?
Yeah, 1 through 10.
Okay.
Each of these, we can only spend about like a minute or two on each one of these, or we're going to be here all day.
Okay.
So,
hype rating out of 10 is a 9.
Wow.
A very strong 9. It could be a 10 out of 10, but I don't want to set it up for disappointment. I don't think we should rate any games as a 10 out of 10 because ultimately they're probably not going to deliver on that. No, but 9 out of 10. This is definitely, this is like the potentially one of the biggest little dev studio games that's coming early on. And, we know this team, like you said, it's only 2 people, but they're incredibly talented and they spent almost half a decade making this game. So we've seen what a small group of devs can do when they're focused and they work on their game for, up to 6 years. We saw that with like Zing Land Beyond. But no, this looks, I love everything about this game, what I'm seeing. I love the combat, the art style, the world. I really hope there's a really good story with it too. Although I'm not going to really hold them to that because that's, most games don't have great stories, but just wow. Everything about this looks impressive to me. Everything. It looks like the VR Halo or something.
Yeah, listen, I'm, it's most of my hype for this game is because of the pedigree. As fun as Marvel's was, it was just kind of an intro game for them, and then Shadow Legend blew us away. It coined the term with Jeremy King, VRAF, and it looks like they're doing that all over again. Some of the stuff they've shown recently, shown how VRAF this game's going to be. And AJ, the thing I complain about incessantly around here is that we don't have enough boss battles in VR, and clearly there are going to be boss battles in Arken Age. That is something we know. That is something we've seen in trailers, and they even had plenty of boss fights in Shadow Legend, which was a much smaller game. So I am very excited. This seems like it's gonna be delivering on everything I want. I am giving it a 10 on the hype scale.
Fair enough.
You're like, no game should get a 10 on the hype scale. And I'm like, well, this one's going to.
Well, I think if there was one that deserved it, this would definitely be one. Absolutely. It
right.
Looks fantastic.
You give it a 9, I give it a 10. We are up to January 17th. We've moved a full day forward to Deadland 2.
I'm gonna give it.
All I've got is my original Deadland review. There's no footage for Deadland 2.
Listen, no matter how Awesome Tatum tries to slander our names, Deadland is a bad game. It's just a bad game that we happen to have a lot of fun with. And that's the best potential that this game has, is that it's another crappy mobile runner game, endless runner. But it's kind of fun. So I'm going to set my expectations very low and give it like a 2.
Okay.
And hope that it's stupid but fun.
Because listen, I don't even think we know if it's an endless runner or not. I have to check the PlayStation Store description and kind of dissect that to see. But again, this is one that, like, you know, we didn't have full control over anything. We only had DualShock 4 support, I believe. And so, you know, just having 2 hands in the game, maybe something that's actually built for PSVR2. I want to see what this little one-person team is capable of, because they knew how to make something fun, and that's missing in a lot of games recently, right? Like the fun factor. And so I'm going to give this a 5. I'm going to give this a 5 on the hype scale, because I just want an endless runner in VR. And I hope that this one turns out to be good. So I'm going 5. All right. Ready for the next one. It is January 29th. We've moved a full week and a half forward, and it is Rebeloid VR. Why do I think AJ is going to say, I don't even know what Rebeloid is?
Because I was about to say, what the hell is Rebeloid?
Rebeloid is it's similar to Masternoid, right? I mean, actually, but closer to just straight up Arkanoid, like the classic brick breaker.
Is it the same developer as Masternoid?
No.
Okay, because in fact, I love Masternoid. By the way, Masternoid is great.
Yeah, Masternoid is great. This is coming from Tabor Studios, and I believe that's just the publisher. So I don't know who the developer is, but Tabor is also the same publisher as Deadland too. So
oh no.
So keep it in mind. I don't think it's the same developer. It could be, but it's definitely the same publisher, bare minimum. So
I don't see anything VR about this. 1 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you. 1 out of 10. I love Arkanoid. I love Brick Breaker games.
I love Brick Breaker games too.
I just have a bad feeling that this is just like shoved into VR, and like that's the end of it.
Yeah, this doesn't even look like a VR game.
All right. So listen, we're gonna move along, and this one is a little bit tougher as far as the release date goes. What? Oh, come on! I can't spell. We need a producer. This is Death Relives, and even though I have it listed down for January, to my knowledge, it's probably launching without VR support first, and then getting the VR support later on. I don't think it's going to be launching with VR support. So even though we're calling it January, it just means that it's coming out in January, probably just flat screen. But this looks very cool. Nyctophile Studios. We don't know very much about them, but it looks like they're making a pretty cool stealth game based on, like, what is it? Like, is it Incan mythology? Like, it is some shit that, like, we don't see. We don't see in games very much. Anyone that's willing to do something different and like be like, hey, we're making a horror game, but it's like unlike any horror game you've ever seen before, and it's like based on mythology that no one ever talks about. I think that's really cool.
Sure. I'd give this one honestly. The thing, I mean, I remember like looking at this and thinking it looks pretty impressive in many ways.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much on it though. Kind of not knowing more about it, kind of hampers it for me a little bit. So I'm gonna give like maybe a 6 out of 10.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
But
I'm gonna go a
I
little
could
bit.
go 7.
But are you going 7?
No, I'll go 6 out of 10.
Okay, I'm going 7. Perfect. All right. And then that brings us up to another nebulous January date, and that is for the oft-delayed, never released Exocars by Zocus Games. My only experience with this is from the Quest 3 version, and I had a lot of fun with it. I'm very, very excited to play this with my racing rig with better graphics and better frame rates and all of that, better everything. I'm excited for Exocars. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 7 out of 10 because I've played it and it's great. And it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I look forward to checking it out on PSVR2 on PS5.
Indeed. Dude, I don't want to let these tips get too far along here. Now let's ride the game feeling with the $5 tip. What's up? It says, can we get a petition for the Song in the Smoke multiplayer? I would buy it again. Yeah, I would too. I think they've moved on. I think they've moved on to less immersive fields. I think they're not doing VR anymore.
Yeah, and keep that in mind for Exocars wheel support. Nihilist Ryan, my metal feline friend, what up, brother, has a great point there. It says, yep, he says 8 out of 10 for Exocars only because wheel support.
Yeah,
it's a big one.
Hey, I mean, listen, VR is immersive. And then when you're suddenly sitting in a racing rig, I mean, this racing rig next to me is not good enough, but and then to have your hands on a physical wheel while you're racing, you cannot understate that. You cannot overstate that enough. That's what I would say. Super Galaxy Godstar with the $2 tip says, what PSVR2 lenses should I buy or you recommend? AJ usually says VR Rock. And if AJ, what's your promo code for them?
If you get VR Rock, use my promo code AJPSVR. Tons of people picked them up. I've gotten lots of great feedback. I use them every day. But regardless, like I always say, whether you use my code or not, like get some lenses. They are crucial. They are crucial.
I don't have a code. I tried the VR Rock ones and they are my second favorites. But I would always pay a couple extra bucks for something that you're going to be using every single day to get the highest quality. And again, VR Rock's fine. I get nothing against them. Second favorite. But my favorite of the ones I tried are the Real Optics ones, RELOPTIX. No promo code, sorry. But they are I think they are like an extra $20 over the VR Rock one. So I could see why you'd get those instead, especially when, like I said, the VR Rock ones are just fine.
Yeah, the biggest complaint I hear about the Real Optics is just that they're a little bit more expensive and they can sometimes take a really long time to arrive, I've heard. Like a really long time. But yeah. But I would avoid Hans.
Yes.
And I would their customer service is fantastic, but their quality is not that good.
They just did a complete redesign.
And some of the other ones I've heard bad things about. So yeah.
VR Optician has a good reputation, but I've never tried those. I've heard they're really good. Violator, the GameCat Metal Messiah with the level 2 membership says hype level 100 on 2025 PSVR2 games. Hell yeah.
Nice.
And then Grandpa's Barbecue GameCat with the Australian 2 says, what? A hybrid game? Yeah. That is very, very true. That's exactly what Death Relives is. Hybrid game. All right, finally, Violator GameCat Metal Messiah with a $5 tip says, when will we completely lose AJ to the UE VR mod with his new monster pewter? I thought this said putter, and I was like, what am I talking about putters? LOL.
I don't know, man, because really whenever it's slow, like there's like PSVR 2, as great as it is.
When has it been slow? Oh my God, I'm fucking so stressed over here 24/7.
No, looks, man. It either rains, it either monsoons, or it's a complete drought. I'm like especially over the summertime. It was like, dude, over the entire summer, over like a 4 or 5 month period, it was like a Gran Turismo update and a No Man's Sky update, and that was it. And that's when I said, like, no, I'm having my computer as a backup when those droughts happen, because I can't take those droughts anymore. I've taken that abuse for so long, for so many years now, and I won't have it,
I love it
anymore. It feels abusive because it's just like the weight is like grueling. And so when it slows down here with PS5 releases, then I'll be doing more PSVR on PC stuff.
Yeah, listen, when for me, whenever it slows down, I go, oh man, maybe I'll have a second to go back and play one of the 100 games that are in my backlog. And I know that you and I have different things to do on our channel. Like when I'm trying to like review everything or at least get a Brian bite out, like I feel like I'm 100 games behind right now at all times. So it's a little bit different story for me.
Yeah, I've given up trying to do the backlog thing because we just have to keep up with every new release. It's not fair. It's not fair, Brian.
It's not fair.
I just want to keep playing Into the Radius and Legendary Tales, and I got like 5 other games to play. It's the best problem to have, though, man. It's a good problem to have.
It's a pretty good problem to have. Which brings us to the hopefully January release of I Am Cat.
Oh.
What
No, this one actually looked good. This one looked good. Yeah, I saw this. Well, I hear a name like that, and there's been so many meme or gimmick games, and they usually suck. They're usually like cash grabs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, hey, this actually looks kind of fun.
Yeah. We had a promise of a game like this with cat lateral damage at the launch of PSVR 1, and what we ended up getting was something that didn't even remotely resemble the flat screen version of cat lateral damage. There was, it was all teleportation. It was a simplified version of the game. It was not cool. This looks fucking awesome. This looks really, really fun.
That being said, I'm still gonna go 5 out of 10 because this is a meme game and I don't really care. But it looks great. It really does look great.
Fine, 9 out of 10. Hitman World of Assassination by IO Interactive. Okay, so we skip ahead now to March because right now there's nothing coming out in February. You know full fucking well some of these January games are going to get pushed into February. You know that some of these games are going to... February is not going to be empty. But right now, we're looking at March 27th, Hitman World of Assassination. If this isn't a 10, I don't know what it should... What's a 10?
Yeah, I'm going to have to break my own rule here and go 10 out of 10 for hype levels. This is one of my most anticipated games for sure. Why? Because I've played it on PSVR 1 and it was god tier. Amazing game. And this is completely redesigned with 2 hands. Hopefully lots of physics have been redone because there basically was no physics before because it's a flat game. Yeah, 10 out of 10 for Hitman, easily. The entire World of Assassination trilogy in VR and on next-gen hardware.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. Like, we were shocked when this announcement happened, but I feel like after the announcement, like, I don't know, just kind of like rolled out of my brain somewhere. And I was just like, whatever. Right. But man, this is like, talk about AAA support, talk about, just the ultimate sandboxes to playing this on PSVR 1 was so mind boggling. It was like, how are they making this happen right now? How does it look so good? Right. And we were stuck with playing with a DualShock 4. Then, the Quest port of Hitman 3 happened and it wasn't very good. And then the PC port of Hitman happened and it wasn't very good. And now they said, you know what? I thought they were done. We're like, okay, we just failed over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But this is like, this legit looks like the ultimate version of these games. And it's like they've been listening, saying, all right, we got you. And this is going to be the one you've been waiting for.
Yeah, what the media doesn't tell you most of the time is that the PSVR 1 version was actually fucking amazing. But because they hate PSVR and PlayStation and everything, or at least PSVR, they completely just smeared it and buried it at launch because they're assholes. But this was amazing. This was absolutely amazing.
If that game had launched with move support, I would have. It's the only thing. Like, that's the fact that you had to play with the DualShock 4 and you were just moving an arm around like this when you moved the DualShock 4 around. It was just so awkward. And so like I give people a pass when they shit on it, right? Because I'm like, yeah, it's awkward, but like, you know, we got used to it, and we're like, we're gonna learn how to adapt to this because we want to play it. And
I
we got
don't.
used to
When
it.
those same people turn around and go play a mod of a game that has to use DualShock that has no motion tracking, and they're like, "This is the greatest thing ever," but no,
That's
because
totally fair.
they're a bunch of hypocrites.
Which brings us to here we go. We are moving along to April with Boxing Underdog by Monologic Games, previously known as VRSO, Bare Knuckle Fighting. They said the game turned out to be they were leaning more into boxing than the bare knuckle fighting aspect. They said there's still a bare knuckle mode in there. Personally, I lost a lot of interest when they were like, "Oh yeah, it's a boxing game now." And we're taking the focus away from the bare knuckle stuff, and it just kind of that was its identity. And now it's like, oh, it's another boxing game. Cool, 4 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 2 out of 10. One, because I don't care about this. Yeah, that is weird that they changed it from bare knuckle fighting to boxing. I didn't even know that. But secondly, because Ven VR was a massive disappointment for me. So
Good
I
point.
have no trust or faith in the studio to deliver when they made me wait 5 years for what felt like a half-baked game in Ven, which was
Dude, that's-
actually supposed to be really good.
That's such a good point. So wait, what did you give it then? 4?
A 2.
A 2.
You gave it a 4.
Okay, I'm gonna bump mine down to a 3 because I forgot Monologic was Ven, and Ven was a massive disappointment. And thank goodness Toast Interactive came along and showed people how a good third-person platformer not made by Asobi could be in VR. So
Toast,
yeah.
Stilt, or Max Mustard, Stilt.
Yeah,
There's
Red
been lots
Games
of other
killed
good
it.
ones. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that brings us to okay, so the rest of these are just nebulous 2025 releases. We know the games are just coming in 2025 at some point. And the first one we're going to take a look at, I think these are in alphabetical order, is Firmament. The next game from Cyan Worlds, and it looks beautiful. Dude, I'm not expecting this to be the best gameplay or the best puzzles. This is kind of what we've heard about Firmament, is that it's just a beautiful game. And dude, and with SubSide, sometimes I'm like, that's kind of what I need right now. I just need a beautiful place to be. And like, it's okay if it's not the most immersive or the most, most thrilling puzzles or the best gameplay. I'm just worried because their last VR game for PlayStation VR was Abduction, and that was, let's be fucking honest, it was a shit show.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have that same issue though. That was.
I mean, listen, listen, they didn't do well with a graphically intensive game on last gen hardware. Do you think this is going to be reprojected? Do you think they're going to get it running at 90 native? Like,
yeah, my guess is probably reprojection.
Right. If you're trying to make this thing as beautiful and as immersive as possible, doing it 120 reprojected is not the way to do it. So I'm concerned about that element of it. So
I don't know. There's not much. If there's not much to the gameplay though, there's not enemies, there's not all this stuff. They could maybe get away with it being 90 native. I just don't know if they're like that aware of, like, the PSVR2 community and like how diehard they are towards these features. I feel like they're a little just kind of in their own world a little bit, but it would be awesome if they, give it the full PSVR2 treatment for having to make us wait this long. The haptics, adaptive triggers, dynamic foveated rendering, 90 native frames per second. That would make this like at least an 8 out of 10 on the hype scale for me. But
not knowing.
But because I don't know and they haven't confirmed and they're not talking about these things, I'm gonna give it a 7. But that's like a very strong 7. Like, I am very excited to play this, but I don't want to like overhype myself and set myself up for disappointment here because I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm with you, except because I don't know, I'm going to go down to a 6. I feel like easily an 8 on the hype scale. If we knew these things, but since we don't, it's hard to get too excited until they start talking about this stuff. All right, that brings us to Five Nights at Freddy's: Secret of the Mimic.
Heard a little bit about this.
Yeah, this is from what I know, and this is more of a free roaming adventure, I believe. So it's less about mini games, and if there are mini games, it's like sort of like you walk from place to place instead of selecting them from a menu. I could be wrong about that. I have not been keeping up with the Secret of the Mimic news. If anybody knows in the chat, if there's any FNAF fans that have been keeping up with it, please let me know, because I might have my info wrong.
I loved Help Wanted. I think Help Wanted is like a 9 out of 10. Sadly, I didn't really get to play Help Wanted 2 very much.
You should have played it when there was one of those droughts you were pointing to before.
I could have played it, but I was doing other things. I was too busy modding Spyro the Dragon. That's true, and I regret nothing. That one did kind of slip by me though, because I remember it released in December. I think it was Resident Evil 4 came out around the same time. So it's like, they sent me a key and I'm like, look, any other day, like I'd be all over this, but I'm sorry. Resident Evil 4 just dropped. This is going to have to wait. And the only time I played it was on a Saturday Night Live stream, and it was fun. So for this, like, I think, I think, who makes it again?
Steel Wool Studios.
Steel Wool. It is Steel Wool. I think they do a fantastic job with these games. They're always, I think, very high quality and really fun and creative. And for me personally, though, like maybe I don't even know if I'd play this. Like, I'll go like 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7 as well, just because I don't know enough about it. I need to watch some. I need to hear about more of the leaks or watch some of the reveal stuff. But I'm looking forward to doing something else in this world that isn't just minigame, which I know that's what this series is about. But yeah, dude, I don't know if it was them or if they hired somebody to do the PSVR2 version of Help Wanted 1, but that was fucking really well done. That upgrade for the PSVR2 was amazing. It was better than from a technical standpoint, it was better than Help Wanted 2 on PSVR2. It had a better frame rate, better resolution. Enough. It was great. So hopefully they're spending the time to make sure that this is going to look real good on PSVR2. Okay, that brings us to a flat to VR game, AJ.
Ooh.
Flatout VR.
I will go. Dang. Do I go safe or do I go full feels?
Talk it out, man. Talk it out. Unload the burden.
I'm gonna go full feelings here and go 9. 9 out of 10 for my excitement for this.
Okay.
I really, part of it is the game. Like a lot of it, most of it is the game itself, because it's a crazy looking arcade racer with just tons of carnage and action. And it's also, the other part of that hype is that it's Flat to VR Studios, and they are one of the hottest, like, up and comer developers right now. They have tons of potential. I really want to see them succeed, and I love flat games in VR, like that, because of the game doesn't get sacrificed that way. Like, at most, sometimes you sacrifice a little bit of like VR interactions, things like that. But in most cases, you just get more and better content that you get to experience in VR. So 9 out of 10 for this. I am super hyped for this game.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I might even push it to a 10 because, again, it's a racing game, which we don't get nearly enough of in VR. It's an arcade racer,
which you've been begging for years,
right? I mean, I would love a Ridge Racer, I would love a Burnout, but I will take a Flatout if in lieu of those. And again, the fact that it is flat to VR, and I know full well that they're going to make sure that they are optimizing this for every platform that it comes out on. It makes me feel good that it's probably going to be running at 90 native. Like, they want that sense of speed. They don't want the reprojection. They're going to make sure that it has full racing rig support. Like, I mean, like, this is talk about a studio I trust. despite the fact that they've only put out one game, right? It's like the one game, but the one game they put out was Trombone Champ, and they like didn't need to go as far with that as they did, and they did. And so it was like, all right, cool. Well, then guess what, guys, you have my trust. Also, they're my co-hosts, so if I don't, say nice things, then
No, I mean,
then,
look,
then I'm going to hear about it.
Listen, I think, I've been completely honest.
Yep, exactly.
With everything, especially with Trombone Champ, and I feel bad, but I just being honest. But this is my type of game right here. This is my type of game. But to be fair, what I have heard about the quality of the port of Trombone Champ has been really good. Like even though that game is not necessarily a graphically intensive game or whatever, it just seems like from all the feedback I heard, it sounded like they really, even that they treated it like it was, and they put a lot of work into it. So I hope this game gets that same love and attention. Like you said, it sounds like it is. So yeah, this will be cool.
Miles Dyer with the level 2 membership says, delayed my PSVR2 Let's Play by 20 minutes. Love you both. Excellent. Miles has been killing with his Let's Plays recently.
He's telling us to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying. Which is a perfect transition to our next game, Ghost Town, coming to us from Fireproof Games, makers of...
Oh, yeah.
The Room VR.
The Room.
Yeah. What do you think, man? What do you think? The last game we saw from them in VR was the Room VR Dark Matter, which was node-to-node teleportation, right? Like we don't even know like what these guys are capable of in terms of like VRAF interactions. We don't know what they're capable of in terms of locomotion, right? I mean, like the basics. Is this a team we trust, right? To get it right, right? It seems like they're taking on a lot for their next project.
In terms of would I trust them? Yes, because the Room VR Dark Matter was excellent. Mm-hmm. And really the only problem with it was that it was short and not very replayable. But it was really good. I really want to go 8 with this, but I'm probably just going to go 7 because I am excited about it, but I'm not like freaking out about it. I feel like this might just be another game that was like, yeah, that was fun. Okay, moving on.
So going 8, is that what you said? 7?
7.
8? 7. All right. I'm gonna go 8 for all the reasons I already said. Listen, I you guys know me. I love scary stuff. I love spooky stuff. Like this seems like a single player paranormal investigation type game, and I've been absolutely fucking obsessed with Phasmophobia. I've got 70 hours in Phasmophobia. That's more than I had in Gran Turismo when I reviewed it. Like it's crazy. So I'm very excited for this, but again, the studio, as great as they are, I think are untested when it comes to what I'm looking for in this game. So holding off on being super hyped, but I am cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I think it's at worst it'll just be good.
Right?
Yeah.
At least we know that the puzzles are going to be good.
Like these are I think these are very talented developers, and yeah, I'm not really worried about anything with it.
Yep.
I just don't know how high the highs are going to be. Yep. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ghost of Tabor coming to us from Combat Waffle. This is obviously one of the most popular games in VR of the last couple years. It's been insane, the reception that this has gotten on Quest and on PC. And that's, again, coming from a small team, regarding a game that's was pretty janky on some platforms, right? It got a lot of love. And now the hope is that VR Monkey has the chops to bring it over to PSVR2, polish it up, get the frame rate so it's nice and solid, and deliver the gameplay that everybody really, really enjoyed. But give us the best version of it. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 7, only because I need to know that this is indeed a polished version of the game that we want to play.
I don't think that's gonna be the big thing about it. I'm hoping that it's kind of like the Phasmophobia of shooters, where it can have some bugs, it can have some issues, but you can overlook it if you're a hardcore gamer, and B, it's something you just really enjoy and is really fun. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go pretty big with this one, man. I'm gonna probably go up to a. Can we do 0.5s or no?
We haven't yet, so let's say no.
Do I go 9 or 8? 9 or 8? I'll do an 8. But I'll go 8 for my excitement for it. But I could go 9 if I really wanted to.
If you really wanted to. Well, that's nice. Okay, that brings us to LoFi, blaring out endless project. LoFi.
This is going to be the next Undead Citadel.
I mean, let's hope so, because Undead... Wait a minute, is Undead Citadel not on the list?
Didn't he have to? No, because it's not coming to PSVR2.
It's Undead Citadel. Undead Citadel just got confirmed for Q1 on Q1 2025.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I haven't heard that before. It's been confirmed for fucking 5 years, Brian.
Yeah.
They had it demoed at Gamescom. People playing it. And I don't care.
Well, listen, we'll get there. I just added it to the list. That one slipped through somehow. Okay, so LoFi. Here it is. LoFi. There it is. All right, listen, this is the game made by one person. Made by one person. I think we've got to allow some one person who's not a coder, right? Like this is he designed this game. He's relying on a lot of people to work for free in order to get the vision he had out, and it's like I think you've got to give some leeway when it comes to not meeting deadlines and not getting a game out when you want to get it out. When it's went down to one person who didn't have funding until recently. He just got funding. Hopefully that means he's hiring like a coder. And
he just got funding when?
Within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, because the last update I remember hearing from them was that they were out of money and they needed to release this in 2024.
Right, and that's why getting funding very recently
Mm-hmm.
is a really, really good thing.
Yeah, no, it is. I don't know, man. Like I was excited about this game. I still want to be, but I don't know, man. It's been so long, and there's nothing really I've heard about the PC version that sounds like there's an actual game there. And for all these years of waiting for a walking sim, an interactive walking sim, I just don't really care that much anymore. Like I want to, though. I want to believe, Brian.
Yep.
I want to believe, but I don't. So I'm just going to say 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute visual showpiece. I think it's going to look stunning in the headset. I think he's probably going to make it look amazing.
I hope so.
But I'm concerned for all the same reasons you're concerned, AJ. I've never heard of anybody saying anything other than the environments look really good, but there's no game here.
Well, on top of this, everybody that's like, well, not everybody, but there's been people that support this game, like financially through Kickstarter or whatever, that I've seen calling him out like on Twitter constantly, or not constantly, but I've seen them like on many occasions be like, this game's never releasing, guys. Like don't believe this dude. And he responds and goes, oh yeah, no, it's releasing, and then it doesn't. And so it's kind of like, prove it. So I'll be happy just to see that this game officially releases, if that happens. And 2, even if it does, what's it going to be? Is it like this coding stuff or getting the investment, whatever, that's a good sign for sure. But I mean so you just got the funding. What about the years of development that would take to actually build a game out of this? Like what's this going to amount to? I just don't see it being very much other than
right. We don't know what state the game is in currently. Right. I mean, like it feels like he put it out on itch.io and then Steam. And we just don't know what versions those are. We don't know how many years of work has been put into actually making a game since those versions have been out there and since people have talked about them. Like, we have no idea what he's been doing.
And I don't feel like he's been working on this game this entire time. Like,
well, I mean, he
spends most of his time on Twitter talking shit. And
I mean, he's got, from what I understand, he's got a full-time job. Like this, he's doing this in his spare time. So it's like, for that's my understanding. I could be completely wrong on this. I think I think does he work at another game studio?
I have no idea.
Know. Anyway, unimportant. What are you giving it?
5
for hype. 5. I'm gonna go 7 because I'm a little bit more optimistic than you. And that brings us to, oh man, this is going to be a good one, you guys. You guys ready for a good one? You guys ready for a good one? It's the Midnight Walk from is it Moonhood Studios? That's the developer behind this, along with Fast Travel. I think it's Moonhood. I could be wrong about that. This looks stunning. I love the art style. I want to know how much of this is first person, how much of it's third person. Like, I have so many questions, but it looks amazing. And I loved Ghost Giant. So knowing some of those guys are behind it, that is amazing. The fact that it has this amazing Tim Burton like visual style, that is amazing. This is a 10 out of 10 for me, AJ. I cannot wait to know more about this game.
I think I'm going to go 9 out of 10. Because I'm totally with you here. I have loved claymation games for the longest times. I love the Neverhood games. Skull Monkeys is one of my favorite PS1 games. I loved Clay Fighter, and I even liked that mediocre Armorcrog game that came out. And so to do claymation in VR, I want to say they've already confirmed 90 native, but I don't remember actually. Dude, yeah. I want to see a claymation story in VR, please. Yes. 9 out of 10.
Okay, so you're saying 9, I'm saying 10. Because Magic just tipped about Exorcist Sin Legion VR, so I want to make sure that we get that in because I don't think that's on our list. If anybody's like, hey, you haven't said this game yet, let us know. And because it's very possible that this is an incomplete list. So let's talk about it, AJ. The game that has no screenshots, the game that has no trailer, the game that I don't think has a fucking developer, if I'm being honest. It's the Exorcist Legion VR Sin.
Oh. I don't know. Is it actually a real game?
So the developers or the publisher at Funtrain is saying that it's real. It's just taking longer than expected to get out the door. The rumor is that the developer of the Legion VR Sin was the same developer as the Twilight Zone, which is Pocket Money Games, which was, just kind of meh.
Bad.
And kind of proved, like they had never done anything big before that, and they proved that like maybe they don't really have the chops to do something that's, great. It was rough. And so I'm wondering, because if you've been paying attention to the Exorcist Legion VR, like the normal game, that recently got this kind of extra episode thing that was supposed to be kind of like an epilogue of some kind, and that was done by a different studio, a studio that I'd never heard of before. It wasn't Pocket Money, it wasn't Wolf and Wood, it wasn't Funtrain, and I'm wondering if those guys ended up taking over for Pocket Money and kind of had to rebuild everything from the ground up. But what this is supposed to be what it sounded like it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a game like the Exorcist Legion VR, except it was supposed to be Phasmophobia-like, where you teamed up with friends and you kind of took these situations down together, which is a great idea. But how can we possibly be excited for something we've never even seen a screenshot of?
Yeah. And for that reason, I'm going to go 4 out of 10. That could easily change the moment I see gameplay or something. I could honestly even go lower, but because like you said, it's like, what am I supposed to be hyped by the name? I don't know. I have like you said, no idea who's developing this or whatever. Or if those are the people developing this, that's not good. So yeah, 4 out of 10, but that could easily change if I could just see it.
All right. And that brings up another game that's not on our list, AJ, and that's Affected the Asylum from Fallen Planet Studios. This is very similar to Affected the Manor. You explore the place, but again, just like Exorcist Legion VR, with friends. The trailer for this looks great. It was supposed to be coming in, I think, 2023, and then it got delayed till the end of 2024, and then here we are, the end of 2024. My feeling is that they're just going to fucking delay it until October 2025. That's my guess. Do you want to explore a haunted asylum with me and 2 others, AJ?
No. But you asked.
Hey, I did. That's what I get.
I'd rather play Phasmophobia with you.
Yes, you want to go do that?
Yeah.
We have so many other things to do right now, and I just want to play Phasmo. Yep.
I don't really like. I liked Affected the Manor on PSVR 1, however many years ago that was. But it was like okay, and I didn't really care about it getting remade or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be like a 3.
Okay. Listen, I'm gonna say 6 because I love horror games and I love. I thought Affected the Manor was great.
Brian. Keep in mind, I do too.
But I thought Affected the Manor was great, right? Because of what it was. It was like, hey, we're not trying to give you a full game here. We're just trying to scare the crap out of you. We want you to, get scared every time we take a turn. We want you to be nervous about taking that turn because we're gonna fucking scare you. We're really good at this, and we're gonna do it. I don't know how much I'm gonna care about doing that with friends. I feel like that's gonna remove some of the fear.
It's way more scary by yourself.
Yep.
And this whole CGI video doesn't even look that impressive to me. So yeah, 3.
Which brings us to Roboquest VR from Flatout VR Studios.
This looks fun. It doesn't really look like my kind of thing though. So I think it deserves more than this, but I'll give it like a 5 out of 10.
Listen,
for hype.
If you had just said Roboquest is coming to PlayStation VR2, I'd be like, who the fuck cares? Because this trailer looks like every other VR game I've ever played in my entire life. But then you read the Steam reviews, and it is like over fucking whelmingly positive. And you're like, holy shit, like this game is beloved. Everybody loves this game. And it's like, that's on the flat screen, right? And so like giving us a VR version of like this really critically acclaimed and commercially loved game is like, all right, man, all right. Like there's something here that like isn't translating through the trailers for me. So I am excited because other people have told me to be excited. And so I'm going to say 8. But that's only because I'm trusting the people who have played the flat screen version.
Yeah.
So what'd you say?
I said a 5.
Okay.
But I think it deserves more. It's just, for me, it's
fair.
looking, meh.
All right. Shadowgate, The Mines of Mythrock. This is very, very happy this is still coming to PSVR 2. That's all I'll say, because Wes and I talked about this game extensively. I played it on Quest 2 a while ago after we found out it was going to be his PSVR 2 game. And it's cool, man. There's a lot going on here. If you like puzzles, if you like kind of like this the whole dungeon crawl thing, it's sort of like I would say like a better version, a more updated version of something like Crystal Rift. That's got deeper mechanics and full control locomotion. I'm excited for it, but like I'm not like, oh my God, I can't wait for it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good when it gets here. 6 out of 10.
Yep. That's exactly where I'm at. 6 out of 10. I'm definitely looking forward to this. But I'm not like jumping out of my seat with excitement.
Okay. Are you excited for Slender The Arrival?
0 out of 10.
What? 0 out of 10 Slender The Arrival?
0 out of 10.
Why?
Because it's such a dumb IP to begin with. I don't even like the IP, and I don't even fucking care about this game one bit. 0.
Okay. Listen, I think Slender is actually a pretty cool IP. I think Slenderman is scary. Probably one of the better of the creepypasta legends. And I think it's gonna be really cool in VR. This is kind of a classic horror game. I think a lot of people grew up on this, and it was like maybe some people's first step into horror, this and like Amnesia. And so and it's something that I never properly experienced. So I'm excited to be able to finally do it. I'm gonna say 8 for me because it's horror, and I'm a sucker for all horror.
Yes,
all right. That brings us to Undead Citadel.
What? -5. I hope this game I don't want this game to release at this point. It doesn't.
What?
No. Okay. 5 out of 10 for Undead Citadel.
Okay. I do have a feeling that this is too little, too late. This especially after Behemoth. Like this is. I just hope that the campaign offers up something that I'm interested in, because I have a hard time believing that this is going to give us something that Behemoth didn't. So I am gonna say a little higher than you. I'm gonna say 6, but I'm just nervous after all this time. It's like
They totally shafted us for the quest and then sold like 4 copies on the quest. So they deserve it. Got what they deserved.
How do you know how do you know it didn't sell well on the quest? Did you hear that somewhere?
I just look at the reviews. There's like 4 reviews for it. I don't remember how many there are.
Okay. Okay. Vertigo Rush from Sumo Lab.
116 reviews. Yeah, that's Vertigo Rush
From Sumo Lab. Yeah, it's the kind of the parkour racing game from our good friends who made the Crisis Brigade series.
Yeah. It looked creative, which I like. It looks kind of like cool. I don't know if I'm like really that excited to play it, but I was like, it doesn't look bad.
It's kind of like Gorilla Tag, the racing game. That's kind of what it looks like.
It looks kind of fun.
It does look kind of fun. And especially since they said it was like, I forget the number of players. Does anybody know off the top of their head, like 20 players or something like that? 12 players? It was a good number, especially like in lieu of Exo Cars only having 4 players and Galaxy Card only having 6 players. Remember it being like 10 or 20 or something like that you'd actually be excited about. So I think the number of players is the reason I'm excited. I'm gonna go 7.
I'm gonna go 6
Okay, that's fair.
because they did a good job with Crisis Brigade. Although we should never, at this point, we should really learn our lesson now and just, stop judging by a track record because it's basically pointless at this point. But useless at this point is what I meant to say.
Oh crap! We got to throw another one in here. Fitz
But
just reminded us about Underdogs.
yes.
All right, let's do Underdogs next. Thank you, Fifth. Also, sorry, I have not been able to keep an eye on the chat because I keep changing.
Oh, I've got a bonus one for you then. Is that all of the one? Wait.
No. We still got more.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let's do Underdogs quick, and then we'll do your bonus one. And then we'll get back to the list. Dude, is it just me? I've been meaning to go back to like old Underdog trailers. I thought this seems like it became this dark cell shaded type thing, whereas like previously I thought it looked way more realistic. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, no, I think it's always been this darker. Well, not the game. The gameplay itself doesn't look cell shaded. This thing does though. But yeah, it never really had like crazy looking graphics to it. But I've heard really, really good things about this game. A lot of people call it like the best like mech game on VR.
Yeah.
I still would like to compare it. I still would like to play this and Iron Rebellion.
Oh, is Iron Rebellion the one I'm thinking of that has like way more realistic graphics?
Yes,
that's
yes.
what I was confusing this with. Perfect.
But this kind of going by the hype of this one, or like what some trusted reviewers that I know said about this one. I don't know if they're trusted reviewers, but I think they're trusted reviewers. Ones that I typically tend to agree with. They said this was really good, so I'll give this an 8 out of 10 for the hype rating, because word of mouth is the best way to hear about good shit in VR.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not excited. I probably will be when I finally play it. It's for me, it's like a 5, but I'm hoping that I get excited once I'm in there.
And I really want to. I'm still waiting for like the definitive like mech game in VR.
Yeah, like Big Shots was fun, but like certainly not like anything, that you'd play for more than a weekend or two. So
yeah.
We got 4 more on my list. Did you have did you have another one you want to shove in there before we continue on, or?
I'll save it for last.
Okay.
I'll save the best for last.
AJ, that brings us to VRider SBK, which I did play on Quest and the motorcycle racing game, and was pleasantly surprised by how good it was. It's very difficult to handle. I think it's going to take some time to really get to wrap my brain around, but really cool, something different. I like it.
Yeah, I'll give this. I could probably go a little bit higher, but I'll go 7 out of 10. It looks very nice. It looks very nice. I just don't know if motorcycle racing is my thing.
I'm
much
one
more
of
a car person.
Well, especially with VR, where it's like, here you're trying to hold on to imaginary handlebars, and then you're turning something that doesn't actually exist, right? It's almost like you need a racing rig for motorcycles, right? Like the old Hang On arcade game that you'd play at the
Oh, I love that.
at the arcade, right? Like something to sit on, lean forward against, and
Yeah.
actually rest your arms against something, and then actually feel like you're turning as. So I feel like that's the only reason I'm not excited for this game, is that like I don't think it's going to be super immersive in that sense. So yeah, I'm going to go 6 for that reason, but I think I probably should go higher. You said 7?
Yeah.
All right. That brings us to Wanderer Fragments of Fate.
10 out of 10 for the hype meter.
It's hard not to go 10 out of 10 for it, man. Like, this was one of the best PSVR 1 games there was, and now they're saying, oh, now it's going to look amazing on PSVR2, and we're going to make sure that we've got more content for you, more puzzles, more locations. It's like, what? The locomotion additions alone, the climbing, the jumping,
Platforming.
the swimming, right? It's
Swinging.
like, yep. It seems like they just added like a whole new game to this game.
Yeah, I'm going to break my rule and do 10 out of 10 for this. This is one of the greatest VR games I ever played on PSVR 1.
Yep.
And this is not just an enhanced version. This is like a almost like a remake in a way. Just because of all the new stuff. So yeah, this game literally blew my mind. Like, like it was amazing. And I am so looking forward to experiencing it all over again. And it looks like there's a lot of new stuff this time around.
Yeah, I cannot wait to play this game. This is, listen, I think I don't want to overstate this, but I really do think that like people right now, people are like, oh, is this as good as Half-Life Alyx when they talk about any game, right? Oh, is Metro as good as Half-Life Alyx? Is this game as good as Half-Life Alyx? What we should be saying is it as good as Wanderer? and honestly, like, I don't know, like, how much combat's being added to this. I don't know, like, if we're gonna look back at this and go, oh, is it a first person shooter now, or is it still mostly a puzzle game with occasional shooting here and there? But like, I would love to be able to look back at Wanderer and go, this is now the game that we compare everything to, and because if
I don't think I do that. I don't think I do that just because this game is literally inspired by Half-Life Alyx and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and it shows. Sure. Like it's one thing to be inspired by it, but to actually like execute at the level that they did. I mean, dude, I thought this game, do you remember us talking about this? They showed like a 5-second clip and I was like, great, where's the rest of the game? I remember being like, there's no way that this is going to be like a 30-minute long game. This came out of nowhere, and it was a freaking like 13 hour game that was like just awesome pretty much from start to finish, and it's going to be even better now. So yeah, I'm all in on this one.
Yeah, and we can't even talk about Wanderer 2 yet. Like, it's like let's take one at a time here. Like, Wanderer 2 is like, yeah, it's in development, sure, but like for what, 2027? Like, or has that goalpost not moved? I'd love to hear more about that eventually, but we'll take one game at a time. Let's tackle a couple tips before they get too far behind us. AJ, Waleed is now GameCat, specifically White Tiger with the Canadian $5 tip, says, I got a 3050 laptop with the USB-C port that has DisplayPort connectivity, so no DP port by itself. Can I run VR2 on it? And any tips on buying games on Steam?
Oh my goodness.
I have Steam tips. Wait for sales, always. Those Steam sales are fucking incredible. You get shit so cheap.
Yeah, Steam sales are good. You can always remember you can buy stuff, and you can, if you don't play it over 2 hours, you can refund it. Like I bought stuff, played it for literally 1 hour 57 minutes, and then returned it because I didn't want it. But yeah, refunds are your friend. Get stuff on sale, and there's also stuff like cdkeys.com, which sometimes I think is frowned upon, but I don't really know or care.
Oh, interesting.
I also like saving money when I can, but I do try to support stuff when I can as well.
So can you run a PSVR2 on a 3050 with that has DisplayPort connectivity? No DP port by itself. What's a DP? DisplayPort. Oh, DisplayPort port.
I don't know. Yeah, you maybe with an adapter or something, or if it has that like what is it called? Starlink? I don't remember what it's called. Starport?
Starlink.
Something.
Elon Musk's thing.
I don't know. I think so. I'm confusing it with whatever that thing, the actual thing is.
AJ can help you out on Discord.
Yeah.
Demo, the Down Under Game Cat with the Australian $2 tip says, LoFi day one buy, not pre-ordering. Good boy. Who's your good boy? You're a good boy. Don't pre-order, but it's a day one for me as well.
And a 3050 can run some games, but it's going to run native VR games, but you won't be able to use like UEVR or anything.
Magic the Game Cat with the €5 is hoping for Slenderman and Exorcist Sin comments. That Exorcist Sin got in here because of you, my friend. We got Grandpa's Barbecue or Game Cat with the Australian $2 tip says, so looking forward to this. He's talking about Wanderer. Never played it on PSVR1. I am so excited for those people, man. People who this is going to be a 100% fresh experience from top to bottom. That is crazy. And it's going to be 100% fresh for me because I have a memory like a goddamn goldfish. And so I don't remember anything from a couple of years ago. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Okay, where does that bring us to? Wanderer, Fragments of Fate. We did that 10-10. And then we got Wrath, Aeon of Ruin, which is another flat to VR project. This is is it id Software port of this first-person shooter?
I don't think it's
is it 3D Realms then? I always get who did which confused.
I don't know for sure, but I don't think it was it. I thought it was like a independent studio.
Hold on, let me look it up real fast. Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. It is. Sorry. Publisher 3D Realms. That's how I got that in my head. So yeah, you're right. So it's developed by Kill Pixel Games and Slipgate Ironworks, who I'm not familiar with. Okay, at least I know where the 3D Realms shit came from in my head. Dude, I love retro stuff in VR. I feel like it's the best combination of everything that I love. I feel like I love retro games so much. I love VR so much. And whenever you combine those two, find a way to combine them into something like this, kind of a retro first-person shooter in VR, you have got my attention. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to see more on it. Honestly, the reviews for it weren't very good. So that killed a little bit of my excitement. I love the idea of loving these retro style games or whatever, but I think Compound proved to me that like I don't really give a shit. Like yes, I like the way it looks, but that's about it. I don't like actually playing any of these. Like, dude,
I didn't know that some of these reviews are not great.
Yeah, they're not very good.
A misguided attempt at turning Arcane Dimensions formula into a full-blown game. Technically well-made, but really badly paced. The levels are too big, padded with repetitive encounters, take too much time to complete, and the game mechanics, weaponry, enemy roster aren't good enough to support this bloat. Wow. And that guy's got 30 hours on record. That's surprising.
What the heck?
I mean, right? So it's like, why did you play so long? But at the same time, it's like, but it's also like, okay, well, I think you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I love Doom. I love Heretic. I love a bunch of other things. Well, I don't think System Shock applies, but yeah, I don't know. 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10.
Yeah. Oh no. The World's Long Play says Wrath isn't actually a retro game. It was released in 2024. I know. I know, but the look of it is definitely retro. It's got that whole boomer shooter thing going on, pixelated blood and shit. So that's where I was going with that. Tatum in the chat says Wraith. It might have kept saying Wraith. It's Wrath. Wrath is an 8 out of 10, but I'm a sucker for a boomer shooter. Yeah. Compound. I loved Compound. I had so much fun with Compound. So like,
I was so bored by Compound. So bored. Runner was so much better.
Compound was better than Runner. What did you give Wrath? I gave it a 7.
I'll give it a 5. It looks cool. I just don't think I'm gonna have any fun playing it, which is a problem.
Okay,
I could be wrong.
And the last one on my list is the delayed Zombie Army VR.
Oh.
Pushed into 2025, kind of at the last minute. It seemed like they were about to announce a release date, and then they had a change of heart at the last minute, which I am happy with. I'd much rather have them take their time and polish this thing up and make it exciting. I don't need it to be great, man. Right? I like what had I been saying about Alien Rogue Incursion for the last fucking 6 months? What did I say? I need it to be a 7 out of 10.
You hope it's a 7 out of 10, yeah.
I need it to be a 7 out of 10, right? So like I only need so much from an Alien game. I only need so much from a Zombie Army game. I just want it to be fun to go in there and kill a bunch of xenomorphs. I need it to be fun to go in there and kill a bunch of zombies. I will be happy if this is a 7 out of 10 game, and because of that, my hype level is around I guess it's only fair to say 7.
Yeah, I really want to go 8 for this, but I think I'm just going to go 7. Mainly because of XR Games kind of situation. If it was, I don't know, it looks pretty great though. Man, those X-ray kills. I've been so harsh on everything. I'm just going to go 7 here.
All right. We did not get Aces of Thunder on this list. What the fuck?
Yeah,
right.
Or Jolly Roger.
Oh shit. Okay.
Somebody didn't watch my upcoming 2025 games video.
I did not. I have better things to do, my friend.
That's okay.
Okay, let's do Aces of Thunder real quick from Gaijin Entertainment. That is coming. I mean, it was supposed to be 2024 until the last minute, but then it got pushed into. Why is that's really the aspect ratio of this trailer? This looks horrible.
It's probably a Twitter video because they don't post anything on YouTube.
Here, will that fix it? That fixed it. Okay. All right, Ace of Thunder. What are we thinking, man? We know it has single player. We know it has multiplayer. We know that's running at 90 native. We know that they've been working on this for a long time now. All the mechanics look VRAF. I'm super excited. And if for somebody who's not a multiplayer gamer, I cannot wait to get in this and fight some missions with you guys. 9 out of 10.
Yep, easy 9 out of 10. Obviously, what would make it a 10 out of 10 is knowing that it has like a full single player campaign, mission based campaign, extra content, whatever. It's widely documented that even though it will have some single player content, that it's multiplayer focused. But that being said, dogfighting is like amazing in VR. Dogfighting is so cool, so much fun. And it looks like they're nailing it with a lot of things here. So I could go 8 or 9. I'm going to lean towards 9 because it looks like it's really fun.
Tatum said with HOTUS, it's 9 out of 10. That's smart, dude. I actually bought a HOTUS and put it in my closet and forgot about it. I have no idea where it is. I never even took it out of the Amazon box. I was like, oh, HOTUS in the closet.
Yeah.
This is super exciting.
Finally let me dust off my HOTUS for sure.
I saw Prentice Summerscales in the chat said XR Games doesn't even have any staff anymore. Don't see how they can polish the Gamescom build into something worth being excited over in terms of in relation to Zombie Army.
Yeah,
dude, don't forget, Vitruvius VR is a 2-person team and made a full-fledged 20+ hour adventure. It's if I don't know how many people are left at XR Games, but I guarantee you it's more than 2. Right? So give them some time. Give them some time to get done what needs to be done. I'm not saying it's going to turn out perfect or even great, but I do. But you got to have faith in the power of just a few people. So Jolly Roger, is that our next one?
Pirates VR, Jolly Roger.
Okay, Jolly Roger. Dude, this isn't. Do you know this is open world?
Yeah.
So I don't know how big the world is. Maybe it's just. I guess it's the island. The whole island is open world.
Yep.
That is very attractive to me. Like just being like, hey, we're dropping you into this place and now go explore. Like we're not going to tell you what's in store for you. Just go fucking look around and have fun. That's really exciting to me in VR. I had open world fatigue on the flat screen, but I do not have open world fatigue in VR because we don't get enough of them.
8 out of 10.
Oh, that's high. Nice.
Yeah, this was on my top 10 list. Yeah, 8 out of 10. One for Pirates game, like a real pirate game.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 for what they've shown and the features they said it has. It is supposed to be open world, but there's climbing, swimming, rappelling, all sorts of crazy stuff. Dungeons, traps, cursed pirates, skeletons, treasure, all the piratey things. There looks like there's a boss fight, Brian.
Oh, 8 out of 10.
They show a boss fight in the trailer, or at least a big enemy. Looks like a boss. I don't know how this is going to end up, but from what they're promising, it's an easy 8 out of 10.
Good. All right. What are we forgetting? Are we forgetting anything?
Yes.
What are
Well,
we forgetting?
sort of.
Talk to me.
This isn't confirmed for 2025, but I feel like it's going to be
Okay.
in 2025. And that is the final announcement of the last award show you did.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody Hell Hotel.
Oh, right.
It has not released even flat yet, and it's supposed to be getting a PSVR2 version. I don't know if this is going to be 2025, but I really think it is. And honestly, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, those guys are really funny. I'm not going to add it only because because it's not I want to make sure like all these were supposedly confirmed for 2025.
Yeah, which isn't fair because you have Undead Citadel on here, but that's okay.
Which is, according to the developers, confirmed for Q1 2025.
I have a game coming 2025, Brian. Can we include it?
Sure. What? Show me the trailer.
Apparently that's
give me the link to the trailer so I can put it up on the screen here.
Give me the link to the Exorcist SIN trailer and I'll put it right next to it, back to back.
Give me the link to the Deadland 2 VR.
I
There's no trailer for that either.
I can make a GIF real quick if you'd like.
I would love that. Put in just the we asked for only the minimal amount of effort here, AJ. Okay, so listen, it looks like because I didn't do this on a spreadsheet and I just had kind of a notepad, we did not spend time doing this ahead of time. It looks like there's a couple clear winners here. There's only two that we both gave 10s to. Wander of the Fragments of Fate, got a perfect score of 20. Hitman World of Assassination, got a perfect score of 20. And it looks like we got a couple 19s as well. Arken Age, got a 19.
I should have given that a 10.
No, too late now. Too busy making your trailer. And in the Midnight Walk from Moonhood Studios, got a 19.
Nice.
It's pretty damn good, man. Pretty damn good. Low on the totem pole, Rebeloid with a 2 out of 20. Only because we said we couldn't give zeros. Deadland 2 is a 7. The Exorcist Legion.
Are you going down?
6.
Are you going?
No, like I said, I didn't. I don't have this in any kind of like. I don't have this on a spreadsheet, so it's just kind of
okay.
Yep. Yeah. If you're looking for look up below a 19, I believe the only 18 that we scored was Aces of Thunder. That was an 18. Just looking here to see if there's anything else even remotely close. There's not.
A 17.
There's no 17.
A 16.
There may be a 16. There may be a 16. There's
I know yeah.
I'm looking for a 16, AJ. I don't think there's any 16s, AJ. There's a 15. No, there's a 16. Jolly Roger got a 16. That was at the very bottom. Yep. And then 15 was Ghost Town. Ghost Town.
Okay.
Yeah. Firmament got a 13. But no. But Secret of the Mimic got a 14. Firmament got a 13. Shadowgate got a 12. Oh, Roboquest got a 13. So only a few top tier ones, AJ. Only a few top tier on the official without parole hype meter.
Not bad.
Only 2 perfect 20s.
If I could change one thing, I'd probably go back and give Arken Age a 10. But other than that, I feel pretty good.
All right. What tips did we miss? Red Rover the effing game cat with the $2 tip says retro. Brian likes retro. Roby dooby doo. That was horrible. Really bad. That was good. That was really good. Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat with the Australian $5 tip says, look at what Brian, AJ, Wes, and Miles as just a few people do for VR. Granted, they're not developers, but you know what I mean.
Look what you do for VR, cats. Don't you put that on us. You're just as much to blame as us.
Can you imagine if we just misread it and he's like, look at what you've done to VR. What have you done?
It's failing because of you.
It was good before you showed up.
I thought that's what he meant. Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. My bad. Thank you, Barbecue.
Who's gonna clean this mess up? That's really funny. All right, man. We've already a longer show than we anticipated. But I mean, how could we possibly do a show like this and not have it go long? It is time for a little 4-minute challenge. Then we'll get out of your hair for the rest of the night. AJ, I believe you are the host, or am I the host?
I am the host.
This is your show. Does that mean you've picked out a game?
It does.
All right, you guys, I'm going to need all the help I can possibly get from you. 4-minute challenge. We have an infinite number of questions, but only 4 minutes on the clock to figure out what PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 game AJ is thinking of. Please submit your questions in the chat. Submit your best guesses of what game it might be in the chat. If you guys don't get this, then I never get this. So let's do this. On your mark. Get Des. Go. Is it on PSVR 1?
No.
Okay. Is it a PSVR 2 exclusive?
No.
Okay. Is it by a studio who's released other PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 games?
No.
Oh. It's their only game. Interesting. Can you play it on the flat screen?
No.
Okay. VR only. Okay. Is it multiplayer?
Yes.
Is it only multiplayer?
No.
Would you just call it multiplayer a big component of it?
No.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know what that means.
Is it mostly single player game with some multiplayer stuff you can do? Or would you say it's equal? Was it equal amount single player, multiplayer?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a roguelite?
Yes.
Oh. Did we mention the name of it on today's show?
Yes.
Is it retro inspired?
No.
Not Compound. God damn it. Okay.
Compound is multiplayer?
No, but I was just going with the last question because I can't think that far behind.
Okay.
Okay. It's a roguelite. So it was not Synapse though, because it would have been, that's an Endreams thing. It got mentioned on today's show. We talked about Hellsweeper. Did it just get a 3-player update?
No.
Okay, so that means it's not Hellsweeper.
Looper says it's 100% Hellsweeper.
I know, that's perfect timing.
Wrong. I got you.
Okay. Is it a mech game?
Yes.
Is it a cel-shaded mech game?
Yes.
Is it Big Shots?
It is, in fact, released on 4/18.
That's April
2
18th.
days. You guys should have delayed it. 2 more days, you would have had way better sales. April 18th.
What do you mean they would have way? All the stoners would have forgotten to buy it. They would, I didn't even remember.
Big Shots came out.
Big Shots is out.
It is, of course, the solo or 2-player co-op supported mech bug killing roguelike wave shooter Big Shots VR, which I actually thought was very good.
Yeah, it was great. Actually, most of what I played of Big Shots was with you, and I think playing it with a friend is the way to go. It's a good time, really good time. I think Wes got it in the chat, but I was not looking at the chat at all because I was like fucking laser focused. Looper says it's the first time it's ever been picked.
Nice. That's what I was kind of going for. I wasn't really. I'm done trying to go with the hardest. Well, okay. Maybe every now and then.
You just didn't have time to prepare today. That's
no, I legitimately picked that one.
Okay.
Like that I was actually, when you mentioned it, I was like, oh shit. Like I was like, that's gonna come back to haunt me. And it did, because I did not have you mentioning Big Shots on my today's GAMESCAST bingo card, Brian.
Interesting. All right. Let's take a look over here. Comic Book Guy Game Cat right now with the level 1 membership. What's up, dude? Thank you so much for becoming a member. And thank you everybody out there who supports the channel in whatever way you support us. It means the world. What do you
want to know
here?
something interesting?
No, it's gonna be a 2-hour show. I do not want to know anything interesting.
Well, Santace Gamers, the Game Cat, says Big Shots has the best B-haptics menu and native support for PSVR I've ever seen.
Nice.
He's saying it's the best native supported game. And I've been really wanting to play it with the B-haptics, and I have not yet. I have to check it out. You'll understand one day when you unbox it, at least. When you break the seal.
Yeah. Listen, the grip to putter is still sitting here from what
Oh my goodness.
Still haven't attached it to an actual Sense controller. All right, guys.
That looks like some foreign object of Ronald McDonald with rabies runs down the street and beats people with. It looks like a weapon from The Purge that a clown would wear.
It does seem like some electricity should be coming out. It's like a cattle prod.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Thank you. I'm going to try to end the show again, AJ. Thank you. Thank you, Brad Boy. Thank you so much for all the compliments. I really appreciate you being here. And thank you to everybody who supports the channel financially, whether it's by being a member, by being a Patreon supporter on patreon.com/withoutparole games. Anyone who tips during the show, guys, I don't have any sponsors. None of my videos are sponsored by developers or anything like that. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to take a sponsor eventually, and something that's non-video game related. But it just means that as of right now, I've been doing this 100%. I mean, I guess a little YouTube ad revenue, but 100% from the support of you guys. And that means the fact that you're out there and you care enough to, send me $1 or $2 every month, like just to allow me to keep doing this for you. It means so much. So thank you everybody who's able to do that. We don't want anybody doing it that can't do it. Hey, if you're in real life, always comes first. This channel will be here. Don't worry about us. And that's why we're so happy that you guys are here, whether you're support the channel financially or not. This community is the best community. I love you guys being here. Love you being over on Discord. So come join our Discord. Click the link in the description below. While you're clicking links in the description, make sure you go subscribe to AJ at the Underground. Apparently, he just did a top video. A video of the top games coming out.
30,000 views, Brian. 30,000 views.
My Behemoth review would love to be in that position. So go watch my Behemoth review. It needs all the love we can get.
I did watch that as well. It's a great review, by the way.
Thanks. That's what taking 2 weeks to make a video gets you. Jesus Christ. I can't let reviews ever take that long again. I mean, yes, I was waiting for updates and everything like that, but man, that was just such a burden. Anyway, thank you everybody. We love you. being part of this community. Thanks everybody who helps me out. You guys are the best. And of course, thanks everybody who sits back, watch the show. It doesn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there. We love you just as much. Happy Monday, AJ.
Happy Monday, Brian. You know what else? Kill the motherfucking cat, because I want to say see you guys on Wednesday to Ruthless Metal. Magic the Game Cat, right back at you, my friend. Appreciate you, man. Taste the Gamer Cat, thank you so much, man. Says, excellent review, Brian. I can finally buy Behemoth now. Appreciate your waiting for the patches.
Thank you.
Yes, 100% go buy Behemoth. It is amazing, but you better finish it quick because lots of stuff is right around the corner. Dead Rigger the Game Cat, man, thank you so much once again. It says AJ with the top 25 PC VR games to play on PSVR2 coming 2025, man, coming 2025. I'll have your top UE VR, your top PC VR, all of your stuffs. Beginagonon says.
That's how you pronounce that for sure.
He says, yeah, great Behemoth review, Brian. Baby, no, Ramos, my dude, what up, man? Shout out to you and your bro. Scott the PSVR Game Cat for Life says, that cute effing cat, we already did, my friend, let's go. Ooh, ooh. Steve _ IRE says, is Alien good? Spill the beans. Well, let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, it is so freaking redacted. Twitcher, the Deuce Juice Game Cat says, I've used a cheaper golf club attachment without grip to putt function. It was brilliant. Something. I don't know. The comment's gone now. Guys, I fist bump to you. Indie Soul loves VR. Says faster, Brian, faster. Fiat says now go watch Miles, people. Yes, go check out Miles Dyer doing something over there. Foolish Optimist says happy Tuesday from the future. Teases us from the future with his time machine.
It's Tuesday over there. How's subs? No. How's wait? What's coming out tomorrow? Is anything coming out tomorrow? Nothing's coming out tomorrow. Fuck it. We don't care. I was gonna be like, how's SubSide or how's Aliens? I was like, no, wait, a lot of shit happening this week, but nothing's happening tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, that's the best. Thank Gamer, Alex Blanco, all of you guys, appreciate you. You have a wonderful rest of the night. Game Cat Behemoth, Nanook, all of you, Mark, Poppins, Pringles, Leaf, Grandpa Barbecue, the Game Cat, oh my god, they're multiplying now. Game Cat goofing in virtual unreality. Oh my god.
We love you too, Sky Luke Walker.
Sky Luke Walker. Dyslexics are teeple poo. Okay, dyslexics are teeple poo.
I think it should be Sky Luke Walker, the Game Cat, or the Cat Game, right? There we go, the Cat Game. All right, you guys.
Luke Walker.
We love you all. Good night.
We do. Bye bye.